that it's not the best game of the day, but you're like, God, that's such good football. It's gonna be fired up for 7 o'clock. I'm so fired up.
We're hanging out with half good sporting. No scoreboard needed, no need for reporting.
Have Good Sporting episode 51, I believe. Welcome back to the show. Loaded show. A lot to talk about. I'm gonna go quick. Stay with me. Coming up, week 5 preview. 4 ranked on ranked matchups this week, including a top 6 matchup in Penn State and Oregon. We're gonna dive into 3 of those 4 ranked matchups, including Oregon and Penn State, LSU, Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia. Then after that, one of the best weekends in sports ever. I'm not going to spoil how my weekend's going to go, but it's going to be a good one. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Um, then going to finish the show with our Florida segment. You don't have to watch it, but you know I'm going to talk about it, right? I'm going to talk about the Gators. I'm not going to hate on them. I'm not going to break them down. I'm not going to build them up. I'm just going to talk about who might be next for Florida. All right. We're going to start with LSU Ole Miss because Bama, Georgia, and Oregon, Penn State are probably a little bit better, just a little bit better. But LSU and Ole Miss, an interesting game. In Oxford, you get what is it, 14 versus 4? That's what these teams are in the AP poll. You have Ole Miss, who was a team we maybe thought was going to regress, especially after the injury to Austin Simmons. And then Trinidad Chambliss comes out of nowhere, and he's slinging the pill around for Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is scoring 50-plus points a game. On the flip side, LSU, top 5 team, they're the one that should be slinging the pill around. They're scoring, if you give them any sort of competition at all, they're scoring 20 points a game. What's going on? What's going on in Baton Rouge with Garrett Nussmeier? I thought this guy was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. A little bit worried about this offense, for sure. Also, very confident in the defense. They're giving up 9 or 10 points a game against good competition against Clemson and Florida. Granted, neither of those teams can move the ball. So what do we really know about LSU's defense? I mean, don't even get me started on the optics of this season for LSU. The thing they're putting on the TV doesn't look like a top 4 team, especially in retrospect with these games they're playing. Ole Miss, on the other hand, seems like it doesn't matter who their quarterback is. Lane Kiffin is going to just score a bunch of points and then maybe get a good performance out of his defense here and there. So it's a game of a lot of question marks to me. I don't want to speak in certainty ever with college football, but especially in this game, it feels like the game where LSU's the better team, but their defense maybe doesn't hold up against this Ole Miss offense, and maybe this Ole Miss offense does score points no matter who they play against this LSU defense. Maybe they put up some points. I'm really not sure. I think Ole Miss is favored by 1.5. I think over the course of 4 quarters, LSU figures out a way to pull this game out and continue what I am coining as a fluky season thus far, but LSU wins. But don't be fooled. They're not going to look good doing it. That's all I got for LSU Ole Miss. But also, this is the chance for Ole Miss to be like, hey, Kiffin's still trying to make a playoff here. Let's not count out the boys. I don't know. Bama, Georgia. I wanted to get the boys on this episode, man. My buddy Ed, he's got a podcast with two Georgia grads, right? Big game for him. The guy goes to the beach. It's unfathomable. It's unfathomable behavior. Guy calls himself a football guy. I can't with him. I can't. But look, Bama, Georgia. Kirby somehow still needs to get this Bama monkey off his back. And unfortunately, Bama is rounding into form. It just depends. Here's the thing. If you're rounding into form coming into Athens, you're not going to fully find it in Athens against the Georgia defense. So Alabama needs to come in form Pause. But yeah, they need to come ready to play. They look better than they did against FSU. Granted, Wisconsin isn't the best, but Ty Simpson is out there hooping. He's slinging the rock around. The offense looks good. You have Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Jam Miller coming back, running back coming back for this game against Georgia. That's huge. The core of this offense is now very much in place. They're very much ready to roll. But you just don't want to have your first test when everything's kind of going good again to be against Georgia in Athens. Now, granted, you're playing a Georgia team that still wants to get some things ironed out, right? The defense is playing well. Gunnar Stockton shredded Tennessee, so things are on the up and up for Gunnar Stockton. Not too worried. Not too worried that he's going to produce. Maybe a little bit worried that he in a situation where he has to outduel the other quarterback. Because, like, Tennessee could have won that game, you know? Georgia defense kept him in it on a few occasions. Gunnar Stockton, even though you could argue he did it against Tennessee, I don't think he's a consistent outduel the other quarterback type of guy if it gets into a shootout type of battle. I think if Georgia just stifles Bama offensively, which they can do against anyone, we've seen it happen against anyone. Will they do it? We don't know. But I think Georgia wins this game playing it their way if they can get this to be that classic 24-17 type of ball game. I think the more points that are scored, the more it favors Alabama. I'm not sure what the spread is. I think Georgia's favored by 2.5. We're going to check this out. Bear with me. Check your texts. Send a voicemail. You got time. Don't worry. Just checking it right now. Georgia, 2.5 point favorites. The spread's so small. We are going to pick Georgia to get the monkey off the back. And with the spread so small, we'll pick them to cover as well. That one I'm not very confident in. This next one I'm a little bit more confident in, but I'm going to have to go against one of my preseason picks, and that's Oregon versus Penn State. I was trying to come up with some sort of analogy here. I think any analogy I was going to come up with was probably going to be a little bit horrible, but I just watched all the Cars movies. And in Cars 3, there's a new generation of racers. And then there's Lightning McQueen, who is an old generation of racers, one of the best ever, very successful, still thinks he can go out there and win, but he's just overmatched by these newer, hotter models of car that are faster. Well, guess who's better, hotter, faster, and just doing things better than James Franklin is Dan Lanning. And Penn State was my preseason national title pick. I'm not going to waver from that because you can lose a game and still win the title. But in on this day and in this situation, Drew Aller has not shown us what we need to see from him yet, and I'm not going to expect him to find it against Oregon. I'm going to take Oregon to win. And that's going to result in some angry fans in Happy Valley. They're not going to be happy about it. But this Oregon team, Dan Lanning being a defensive guy, has put together some of the most impressive offenses we've seen in college football recently. So yeah, this is like Jackson Storm just being too much for Lightning McQueen to bear, despite how good Lightning McQueen was. Dan Lanning is too much for James Franklin to overcome. I'm going to take Oregon in a good game, but they're going to pull away late. Penn State favored by 3.5. Not only does Oregon cover, I think Oregon wins outright. Because I just don't see a world where Drew Aller's coming out there and just dealing and winning a game 35-31. I think they got to win this game like 2017 for it to go Penn State's way. I'm not sure. All right, I have in here to go over the 2026 SEC schedule release. Came out with their opponents. I'm going to do that in a separate video tomorrow. If you're watching this and somehow that video is already out, go check, see if it's out. You'll tell by the thumbnail. I'm probably going like this in the thumbnail. It's for some clickbait purposes. So go watch that video. But I am going to do a separate video on it. And then we need to talk about this weekend, guys. This is the best sports weekend maybe ever. just all around. I gotta give you guys the rundown. I'm trying to do it off the top of my head because I'm so excited for it. I think I just might remember it. Just Saturday and Sunday, just the weekend. You wake up on Saturday, Ryder Cup, USA versus Europe. Nothing fires you up like some good patriotism, cheering for the boys to take down their comrades from Europe. Scotty Scheffler, Ben English, oh, Ben Griffin. Harris English ain't on the team, but Russell Henley, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas. These guys, it's going to start early, so you got a couple hours of being an American until noon hits. Then you got college football all day. Noon slate is noon slate ranked on ranked matchup, USC Illinois. But if that game gets out of hand, 12:45 right after Vandy Utah State, we love watching DJ or Diego Pavia cook. Then 3:30 LSU Ole Miss. This is kind of the game that it's not the best game of the day, but you're like, God, that's such good football. It's gonna be fired up for 7 o'clock. I'm so fired up for 7 o'clock right now. Guess what? 7:30 rolls around. Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State, multi-box on the TV, one on the left, one on the right, watching the game at the same time. And then after that, you're on such a football high and you can't get enough. BYU, Colorado, 10:15 kickoff. That game's gonna finish at 1 or 2, and you're gonna be feeling good. You might be coming home from downtown. You might be coming home from the bars. You're feeling really nicey. You get the tail end of that game, maybe hit the final leg of your parlay, and you go to bed a happy man. And then the next day you wake up, you're not feeling that well. You're like, okay, I have until 1 o'clock to rally. No. NFL game in Dublin, 9:30 a.m. We don't sleep here. We watch ball. It's gonna be epic. And then you got 9:30. That leads you right in to the 1 o'clock games. You got the Falcons playing the Commanders. Falcons need a big win. Jaden Daniels is out. You have an opportunity to do so. You got Ravens Chiefs in the late window. Packers Cowboys Sunday night football. You go to bed, you're bummed. You hear that 60 minutes go off and you got school or homework due the next day and you're bummed out. But then you wake up on Monday, you get through your day and you get rewarded with two Monday night football games. And then you go to bed a happy man. You're celebrating a USA win in the Ryder Cup. Your favorite team won. Florida was on bye week, so you didn't have to watch a horrible football team play. Everything went perfectly. And now you just now can finally take a breath because all the football's over and it's already Tuesday. And now you got 4 more days until the next best Saturday of our lives next weekend. I'm pumped for it, boys. I'm pumped for it, baby. Let's go. That's weird, boys. Don't do that, Jack. Okay. All right, next. I'm gonna fire off some names. You know what? I might even put this one out as a separate video, and I'm gonna say a letter to Billy Napier from from a concerned fan. And I'm actually gonna go as far as to read off a blog I posted. I'm sorry the screen's shaking. It's because I'm clicking. I'm gonna go as far as to read you a stream of consciousness on Billy Napier that I wrote. And it's a short one, so we can read it. I'm gonna put it in the middle so it looks like I'm looking at you guys. Billy Napier, former Clemson offensive coordinator, which makes so much sense in retrospect, looking at Clemson these days, and future former Florida head coach, lost again on Saturday. Napier, who continues to receive the vote of confidence from Florida's athletic director, Scott Strickland, is off to the worst start of any Florida head coach since World War II. Florida's defense has put together several inspired defensive showings, none of them enough to overcome an offense so anemic that it makes Iowa look like 2019 LSU. It is only a matter of time before Florida frees their fans from the shackles of Billy Napier. Luckily for the next guy, he probably can't do worse. Also, despite my impressive criticism of Napier, he is a good man. Let's not lose that in the shuffle. He's a good man. He's skilled in evaluation, talent acquisition, and program building that his predecessor, Dan Mullen, failed at. So, if Billy Napier accepts that offensive play calling is just not the thing that he's good at, and he will not find success that way, I think he could find success, serious success, in a front office role for one of these teams. That's my take on Billy Napier. I love you, Billy. You're a good man. I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you, but you do not belong with the Florida program anymore. We've waited long enough and we deserve better. So let's think about who's going to come. All right. Now think about Florida. Even if you're a big fan, I want you to have a realistic look on where this program is. You are just, unfortunately, I don't think you're a top 10 program anymore. You could nail a hire and get back in a year and be and you find the right coach, he brings you back to be a top 10 program in the nation, then the coordinators want to come and the players want to come and it'll all work out for you. But right now you're not that. So there are some names we need to cross off the list when you're looking for a coach. Okay? Listen, Dabo, you don't want him. Dan Lanning, he's in a better situation there. I think even Lane Kiffin loves Ole Miss. That one is not crossed off the list. That name is going to be brought up a lot and would make, by the way, would make Florida fans very happy. And an interesting angle to take here is to think about. Now, I'm stealing this from Josh Pate from our last coaching search from a while ago. You almost want to think about your rivals. Think about Knoxville. Think about people in Knoxville. Think about people in Athens. Think about people in Baton Rouge. Think about people in Tallahassee. Who do you have to hire for those fans to wake up in the morning after you hire someone and be like, oh God, the Gators finally got it right? Lane Kiffin is 1A on that list to where your rivals are thinking about all the things that could go right if that happens, and it terrifies them. Because what if Kiffin is doing what he's doing at Ole Miss with more talent and a better recruiting base? Kiffin's a guy that is gonna do. He needs a crown jewel moment in his coaching career, and he could find it at Florida. Now, the G5 route's another scary one. John Sumrall at Tulane, he's gonna get a lot of buzz. Alex Golish, who you just lost to at USF, he's gonna get a lot of buzz. He feels like a guy that might take one of these jobs that's already open, like a Virginia Tech type of job. Those are two names that are going to be brought up. Now, if you're Scott Strickland, you you for some reason whittle down your candidates for this job and you end up hiring a G5 guy. You, first of all, if Scott Strickland even gets to hire this next coach, which you will because no one can fire him because there's not a president at the school. Florida is all sorts of messed up, not even in football right now. But the trickle down effect is affecting this next job search for sure. Back to John Sumrall. If a guy like him is the candidate you dial in on, Scott Strickland is urinating down his legs, so scared to make that hire if it doesn't work out again. Because Florida fans have seen enough of trying to make a group of five guy continue his success at a program at the level of Florida. So I think because of Billy Napier, G5, those top G5 guys aren't going to be as high on the list this go round. And maybe you think about a Kurt Signetti. I've been banging this drum. I've been banging this drum. I like the guy. I like him. I looked him up, guys. He wins. He's a winner. Okay. And he's doing it at a place that sucks. And he's literally just crushed a top 10 team. Like last year, he was beating the teams he was supposed to beat, but like guaranteed loss to a team that was definitely better. He wasn't really shooting above his weight. Now he is like 63 to 10 against an Illinois team that we all thought was going to beat Indiana. Dominating. The guy is must have a like a 800 winning percentage over his career. Ridiculous numbers. He just flat out wins ball games. Flat out wins ball games. He would, personality wise, he would fit in at Florida. Got that kind of old man Spurrier type of swag to where it's like, it's just a bunch of quotes your grandpa uses. Like the 20-year-olds don't think he knows he's not that cool, but he accepts them because his team's winning. I don't know. No, Kirsten is a good man. I like that. I mean, I think you shoot for the moon here if you're Florida. Like one, at least get a guy that we're gonna enjoy if it fails this time. Because like Scott Strickland, I don't trust even half-heartedly to hire the right coach, which is sad to say because I'm gonna gas up whoever the next coach is. So if you're Scott Strickland, you need to be like, okay, if I fail this hire, at least have a guy who's like gonna the fan base is gonna like and knows likes the personality. Do something. Do something, man. Give me something that gets me riled up and ready for football. Okay, Scott. But yeah, Scott might have to go too with Billy. But that's all I got. All right, that was a quick show. I got through a lot of stuff quickly. I'm gonna take a wild guess at how long this video is. I bet we got over 20. I'm gonna say we did 21:33, and then I'm gonna end the recording and check. Thank you for listening. Um, Hopefully a lot of videos being posted this week because of how good um this week of football is. Thank you for watching. If you're here from my mom's Facebook, thank you for watching. Now I know a lot of you ladies that might be here from this Facebook don't know how to interact with the YouTube. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to, if you're watching it landscape, I want you to turn your phone upright. And then right under this video, it's going to say have good sporting. I want you to subscribe it, like it, click every button possible except for the thumbs down one, because all of those things will help me. Um, and if you're just here because you stumbled upon me, I welcome you with open arms, and I would love to keep you in a safe way, of course. You just watch the videos. That's all you have to do. Okay. I'm getting a little bit out of line here. It's late. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to start editing these videos and I'm going to come back on Have a Good Sporting episode 52, even stronger and better for you, baby. Let's go. All right. Have a good sporting. 51 over. Love you. Bye.